All right. Morning, everyone. This is the match everyone has been waiting for. I'm so excited for this one. Joining me on comms today is Solid Bones. Morning.
Morning, everybody. I hope you're as stoked as I am. This is the first seed going up against the third seed, if I recall correctly. Is that true?
That is true, and let me tell you, we had 85 predictions for the bracket. 33 of them, or 39%, predicted these two being in the finals. They did not make the finals. This is for third place right here. So this is loser semifinals, so whoever wins this one gets to face the loser of the current winners finals match. We don't know that outcome yet, so we're not going to talk about it, but this
that
one
would be
is
spoilers.
Yeah, that would be spoilers. But here, because we got an interesting start here. We got Diddy, Lanky, and then we have two chunky moves, and then Gorilla Grab. Gorilla Grab not really doing too much for you. There's a couple checks in there, but Pineapple very strong. We'll see if they get chunky earlier so they can make use of that Pineapple.
Yeah. Rest in peace, R&D helm check. Or the battle pad. That was like the only Gorilla Grab check I feel like that came up.
Oh my god, I'm so excited for this one. I hope everyone else watching it is. These are the best of the best, chat.
Yeah. And as a reminder, Charles only got knocked into the losers bracket by a minute, less than a minute on the clock in his match against Camerson. And Connor and Charles were obviously both in the winners semis, but both got knocked down into losers simultaneously, which is an interesting turnabout for sure.
We got about 7 seconds left here until we are starting.
Oh man, I do not expect this to be a slow one.
I do not either, and here we go. Nice Pokemon Gen 2 here, and we're getting our first look at a level. Galleon.
Galleon. Charles is going to go over here. They're going to peep this fairy, and it is just a little banana. That's so funny. He got a banana there, and they got a banana fairy. Okay, open. Hints going by in a blur.
Yep. Both of these players use a screen capture method to grab the hints as fast as they can, so we're going to be seeing a lot of that. Hopefully we can grab those as quick as we can. We do have a tracker. Hopefully they are screenshotting for us so we can see them. All right, so just kind of go quick overview. So Aztec Splat in Chunky's 5-door temple is way Lord. So that's a pretty locked one. You do have Pineapple already though. Hunky Chunky starting move, that's on the path of Key 8 and Chunky K Rule, so we know that Chunky is obviously K Rule locked at some point. Jape's Forest Lobby's 1 potion. So we'll have to look up for that. Tiny Temple and only Tiny Temple is path to Key 7 at the moment. So let's just see what's going on there.
Castle Shops is on the path of Key 8 and Chunky. We'll have to poke around some shops. We're going to go check out some clumsy dirt here. It's going to be an early mini monkey.
Yeah, that's a solid move to find. Obviously, you don't have Tiny yet, but that locks so much things. Like, usually find that early is a relief.
Anyway, he's got a little bit of melon action here on the banana, and we're going to be poking into Factory on the side of Connor. We spoke about this last time, but...
fair.
Yeah. We spoke about this last time, but early Factory can be quite nice in terms of speed just because you get so many gosh darn banana coins just running around. Oh, the bat!
Is there going to be a cop blocking the way? I don't hear one. Okay, there's not.
You don't know how Connor's coming back from that bat hit? It was a grizzly bat hit, I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah.
No, just a very tiny purple doggo blocking the way.
So just as a quick overview on some of those second page hints that we kind of glossed over because they were over too fast, we have Castle Shops. That is going to be path to 8 and Chunky.
Yep.
We have Japes Lowlands, that's only path to Key 8. We have Factory Metal Rewards, which is a Giga Path. That's going to be path the 4, 5, 7, Tiny, and Chunky phase. We have a potion in here. It is 6. They have to come back. There is Diddy coins around the corner, so it shouldn't be too bad.
Yeah, Connor's also only got 5. Getting shortchanged here. Come on, Funky. You're gonna blow up the island or something. Be a pal.
Really quick, the final hint on page 2 was Forest Mushroom's exteriors is foolish.
Oh, the whole exterior.
Nice big area to kind of eliminate. Especially if Forest ends up being a later level, like those big levels or those big areas that get eliminated quickly can be useful for getting gold bananas later. So as a race, that's what I usually keep in mind when I get those early hints that close off big areas like that.
It's really nice that if you just go up there to check the early Simeon Spring, that you also just get a boatload of bananas for your trouble. Going as fast as I can here. Prod room looks like it's key 2. Donkey's bought in factory, so that means we're gonna have to go to the other shops.
Factory shops, DK Galleon shops is Tiny. Lighthouse is key 8 and only key 8. Then, of course, production room key 2. So we are likely going to be seeing them clear as much factory as possible here before they leave. Obviously, you want to get key 2 in production room, and they're likely going to be taking Warp 5 back to Funky to buy that potion that you couldn't get.
Yeah.
Unless they were reading it and it wasn't actually anything I wasn't paying attention. Because I was paying attention to the hits, so maybe someone in chat right.
Ooh, that was a red potion down there. Grab this portal, and it is going to be Guitar Gazump, so that doesn't immediately resonate with me unless I'm crazy. It could be Lighthouse area.
No.
Oh wait, no.
There's nothing in Lighthouse. Oh, barrel throw early.
We did find Donkey Kong though.
The donk! There he is! We got the donk. We got him, chat.
And Charles going to be going up to get them some donk action. Checking the other shop. Pearl!
Double pearl. And we also have a medal. And what is on Cranky today? A foolish game. See ya.
Nothing. Sorry, folks. Jetpack not on the table, but DK arcade game. Maybe. We do have the lever pulling.
We don't have Baboon Blast yet, so we can't quite check it.
Here in Prod, we know there's something here. Oh. Dude. Connor's getting owned by these flying enemies. Just a melon.
Yeah, and if it was Key 2 there, I wouldn't expect... Or if Key 2 is in production, I wouldn't expect Key 2 to be on that check unless they had Simeon Spring early, so... That's to be expected.
I just have to assume, call me a glass half empty person, I just always assume it's the very top Kasplat.
Well, that's where Connor's going right now. Connor did not get the Funky Potion. It looks like Charles is going back to get it.
Yeah, it is actually great that we got Gazump for this Kasplat explicitly. We were going to be in a bit of trouble. We didn't have any way of really dealing with him.
And there is Vine swinging, obviously a move that you need to beat the game.
Gonna be 49 to check the bosses. I'm not sure if we're gonna be doing that.
Now,
eventually.
listen. We have Tiny and Galleon, which is level 2. Oh, there's Chimpy Charge on a thing. So that's a medal reward, and that could potentially be that on that Giga Path. We don't know that for sure yet, but there's a decent chance. And there's what you just said, Key 2.
Yep. My glass is half empty. We're gonna be going up the gamer path just to get a little bit of a banana fairy. And with that, we've cleaned out our hint there in Prod room. We're gonna be checking inside to the Strong Kong This is obviously out of logic, but... Oh, it is a potion! That looks like a yellow one.
If this is a Boom Blast, this is really nice for Connor, because now he can...
Shooter.
Oh, it's Shooter. Okay, well, not ideal, but it looks like he's going to go back to Funky's from here.
Back to Funky. You could check the shed.
I think that's what he might end up doing as well here. He's got options. Yeah, that's what he's going to do. He's going to go to the shed, break that open, then he's going to go to Funky's via Warp 5. I think that's the play here. That's what it looks like he's doing anyway.
Connor is zooming right now. I feel like they've had very similar routing, but Connor is out to a
Connor's
decent advantage.
He's a pretty decent chunk ahead at the moment here. Obviously very early in the seed here, so it doesn't mean that much, but it's always nice to get an early lead, even though if you don't really know where your opponent is, right? But it is nice to get, like, if you're feeling good, you'll usually be out to an early lead like this, and maybe Connor thinks he's feeling good at the moment.
And we're gonna peek on over into this cage. It is just a banana. That is good to know. And what doth the mini monkey seal? We're not even looking.
I wonder if Connor's gonna go get number game before he leaves, because like that will get him not only another check for the number game, but that will also get him the medal for DK.
I think splat, yeah.
And I think just because of that Giga Path, I think he might decide to do that instead of relying on Chimpy Charge. Yeah, that's what he's gonna do.
All right, chat. It's been a while since we got to do this, since I've been on here, but I believe in us today. You know, it's October 29th. It's a beautiful day outside. We can count to 16.
All right. It is counting time, just like Solid Bones said. I hope you are ready.
Hey, I gotta say, we got some doubles, but we're keeping it together.
Okay, well, if you ignore the meme answers, we kind of got to 8 as long as you don't care about the repeats. So that's actually pretty okay.
Hey, I got it. Y'all get some credit today. Everyone except except for the person who said just a huge string of numbers and just pounded the number pad key. Unfortunately, you get no credit. But everyone else, you're doing great. 16, not bad.
Connor
17, that's pretty bad.
Leaving? Nope, he is sticking around for something else.
Checking Diddy R&D.
Yeah, and I think Connor's gonna be going there too. Yep.
Yeah. I mean, like your internal alarm bells are ringing right now, right? From what you got.
when you have Chimpy Charge on a Giga Path, you have to check those. Charles is gonna get the first peek at this check. What do we got?
What do we got, Charles? It's gonna be Strong Kong. Okay.
So if we think about it like this, right? Strong Kong was there. And we know that Strong Kong was gotten by Chimpy Charge. And we also know that Strong Kong got Coconut Gun. So I think it's a very high possibility here that Coconut Gun is actually for that Giga Path for 4, 5, 7, Tiny, and Chunky. Might not necessarily be for everything, but like we already have 3 moves for that one path, which is kind of crazy if you think about it. This is just level 1.
Yeah. Yeah, it's looking like Coconut Gun right now is probably the linchpin. It's good they both peaked. Strong Kong.
Tiny and Chunky will be shutting down the Blastomatic today. Tiny and Chunky is also in K. Rool.
That is true. Tudos did ask Sarah for the worst seed she's ever generated. So, you know, she had to step up for this one.
I'm not so sure. I'm not so sure yet. Like, Tiny is in a shop in level 2. And if that ends up being on Cranky, then you're going to have 4 Kongs very quickly.
Little banana here. You're going to only have 1 gun. Coconut is definitely not a bad one to have. And now we're going to be checking aisles. We didn't actually get anything pointing us here yet, if I'm not crazy. What's in the dirt? There's gonna be a banana, and I think we're just gonna be looking at
some more hit. Oh, there's James. There's a boss. I see a boss. Also in there is Mills' path to only tiny. Jape's boss defeated, of course. We also have storage and arcade is path to 8 tiny lanky, so we have all of our Kongs to beat K. Rool. We didn't know all our Kongs anyway. And then finally, forest lanky attic shooting is a way of the horde.
I feel like attic shooting is always it's always there.
That attic shoot, like, you have to keep in mind that homing ammo is probably going to be on a path now, just because we know that, because it is logically required to do that. You can beat it without, but it is logically required.
It's one of those things that can throw you off if you're trying to follow the logic if you just forget that.
So this kind of sucks, because, like, if Jape's boss defeated is just homing ammo, that's basically a waste of time. So unless Japes ends up early, it's possible they might not even think about that at this moment of even doing Jape's boss. I guess they may turn the blueprints and at least pick the vial color, because if it ends up being clear, they may just like, eh. It's like, there's a lot of factors here, but it's something to think about.
Yeah. We're not in Japes yet. Second level is Galleon. Rare coin!
Ooh, Tiny is not here. That means Tiny is peanut locked, and we don't have that yet.
Interesting.
Something we do have access to, though, is the Lighthouse area. Lighthouse is path key 8. You do have the dock. He can check inside the tower right now. You also have Kevin there, but that's about it since you don't have diving.
Hit this to splat. Got his banana.
Oh man, that was, I didn't even ever think about doing that kind of coconut shot. That was just a sweet shot by Connor there.
Yeah, those from downtown. I feel like you get betrayed by enough of those balloons that people tend to get pretty close to them.
Connor is the first person to the lighthouse area. Looks like he is going to be going into the lighthouse first. Hopefully he doesn't miss this balloon.
Oh!
Oh! Will we get on the turnaround? Nope.
Not on the
Alright, well, it looks like he's just gonna go in and get it later.
Yeah, you can just get on the way out, right? No big problem. Gonna be doing the... going all the way up. There's also a balloon to shoot on the way up here. Let me tell you, the hallmark of an actually truly good DK64 player is making this lighthouse climb look like it's not some of the jankiest platforming in the game.
You can tell they played Super Mario 64 as a child because of Womp's Fortress, and there's B-Blast.
Good old B-Blast.
Now, this is interesting because B-Blast was found in the lighthouse area, and there's Trombone as well. Wow. So now there are 2 items here that could be Path to Key 8.
Yeah. One or the other. That means one of them could be bait.
Don't know enough yet, but we do have some info. One of these things are going to be getting us something to Key 8 here. Connor gets the medal.
Oh, true. Sorry, can't be Trombone because it's Path versus Lanky. You're so right, chat.
Yep, it has to be B-Blast, and it could be Arcade. It could be Arcade still.
Arcade? Arcade mentioned?
Got more hints. Yo, we have Chunky. Oh my god, all the Kongs are in shops. Sarah, I told you to get a harder seed.
These Kongs aren't in Mechfish at all.
Factory, R&D, Diddy was way of the Horde. Tiny Temple is just tiny. The Japes Lowlands is also just tiny. So we already have multiple only Path to Tiny hints. And we already have Mini Monkey. So like Feather must be like super duper locked or something.
Yeah. Which could mean that if you just find an early orange You might be able to neglect a lot of stuff.
We are going to Mills now. Obviously, we know where. We do know that Lanky's attic does have something. We are going to be able to get up there this cycle because we do have a coconut and we do have Lanky to pound the switch in there. So like, it's not going to be in logic, but we do have the ability to do it. As Connor misses another balloon.
But Tudos, as you said, that's not in logic. What should Geo Miyamoto think?
I literally could not understand what you said.
So what should Geo Miyamoto think?
It doesn't matter because we're donking and we ignore the rules here.
Duh. These donk rebels. Get that banana. That should give us a fairy. Unless it's bait. Doesn't look like a fairy. I'm just gonna take a dive.
Oh,
wait, there's a fairy.
Snipe.
Sorry, respawned it. Scope.
So that's in the Forest Mills, but I have a sneaking suspicion that's not what's being referenced with the Path to Tiny Phase in Forest Mills.
Scope, you say?
But there is still ways that it can be useful, right? Like this. Oh, there's a clear vial there. That could be diving.
Clear vial there could be diving for sure. This is still within the first few levels. And we're gonna be checking the hint in here. Even though again, it's not in logic, you will get arrested for this. Blasting these bees. Another clear vial. That's a super simian. Okay.
Oh, that's hinted. It's needed for something. What's it needed for? Uh-oh. I wonder if this tiny gigapath has something to do with that super simian slam. That's the feeling I'm getting. So Connor right now, technically he cannot do this in logic. But you can shoot that switch with any Kong's gun.
If this is another actual colorless potion, then Mills is weird. Yeah, if this is oranges, that definitely dictates a path for us in terms of potentially neglecting everything that has the word tiny written on it.
All right, we're about to find out what's in there. Could be oranges, could be diving, could be something useless.
Third melon? It's always good to have your third melon. Diving! Oh! My God.
All right, well, diving is technically peanut lock, and we don't have it yet.
Yeah, where's Pablo?
That does kind of further complicate the Mills hint, right? Because now we have 3 things that we got here.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Mills is like too loaded.
My guess though is that I think diving is potentially it, just because we have an Aztec tiny temple, and many things in there are locked by diving.
We're gonna be checking out DK's vacation home here. Very funny again that in season 3, this is a very powerful location. Many things in here. Get this crate. Is that pop guns? It is, and that makes sense because we got Strong Kong.
Yep, so Strong Kong is likely that gigapath to everything. That's probably specifically what the Melody Rewards was for. Initially getting Chippy Charge, of course. But that does put even more complication on the Forest Mills thing, because now there's 4 items that it could be leading towards.
That's so funny. Mills absolutely loaded. It's funny that like it's loaded and we got there and could get like a lot of stuff.
Oh yeah.
That doesn't really usually shake out that way.
Connor is deciding to stick around here. I wonder what the plan of action is. Now, Galleon shops, you do have access to Tiny now, and Jape shops, we don't know where Japes is, but I think it's pretty likely we're going to be finding Japes sooner rather than later.
Buying a banana here. We know the mushroom exterior is foolish, but not quite so for the interior. Yeah, will Connor be going for like medals here, or is he just gonna get out of here now that he's bought that banana?
We do have our first route diversion here. Charles is going to opt to not do any of the rest of the forest, while Connor is getting more GBs. So there is a routing decision here that may or may not affect the end time.
Immediately running back to Galleon because we can open up the, not only can we open up the ship side, but we also have diving. Wow, those micro lankies, we want as little lanky screen time as possible. That's the true optimization right there.
Oh, there's an accidental Simpy charge. I know for sure that's on the bingo board. My guess here is that Connor is probably not going to be climbing the mushroom. He's probably just getting the lower and middle areas here. We do have another set of hints as well.
Forest Mills, path to key 7. So throw that on the pile of the 400 things we got in Mills.
Main aisle's foolish. That's not one you see often.
Yeah, the whole darn main aisle. Factory shops, path to key 8, and castle, funky donkey.
All right, very good. And I predict Connor's gonna be leaving after he finishes up this middle area. And that was correct.
Charles, you're gonna be opening up and freeing the seal. Gonna go say what's good to him.
Yeah, we can imagine they're going to be hitting up those Boom Blast areas pretty hard, or those Boom Blast checks pretty hard here.
I feel like the big route divergence is just Connor elected to stay there for a little bit more banana density, whereas Charles is trying to press on a little bit and try to find maybe more density here in Galleon because you have to be here anyway.
Yeah, I believe Connor got 4-ish more golden bananas by doing that. We'll see if that pays off at the end of the day. Connor is not going to open up the check for the seal race, at least not yet.
And there's Tiny.
Tiny Agaton.
No, Tiny not gotten, because Chunky has to buy her. I just meant we found her.
Oh, dang.
Chunky's holding the keys of this whole operation. Woefully absent.
You gotta go to Japes first. So what this means is Japes has to be level 4.
Yes. You have to get your...
Because there can't be 2 Kongs locked behind level 5. Connor leaving. I think he's going to level 4. Yeah.
Yeah. Going straight to Japes after
he's
making
he's not going to bother
with
clearing anything out in Galleon unless he has Chunky in hand, it looks like. Only 14.
Yeah, less than I thought. Yeah, I agree with the Connor play here. And Chunky was on a shop, correct?
Yes. All the Kongs are on a shop, actually. And Golden Banana. Got some more stuff back here. Remember that Japes Lowlands is path to Key 8. So definitely going to see Connor checking everything in this area. And it is grape locked there.
Interesting. Behind the grape cage. We'll be interested to see if Connor even peeks the potion here in Japes, sorry, peeks the Tropics Pop, rather.
Yeah, because remember, we have Japes boss defeated as a Way of the Horde.
Ooh, tag barreled. We all hate that.
Connor is going to start hitting up those Baboon Blast checks here.
Yeah. I do not believe Connor freed the seal, whereas Charles did.
No.
Yeah, Blast is indeed a lowlands check. And this is obviously it's a tutorial blast, basically, so it's a fast one. And that is going to be Monkey Port. Okay, yeah. Pretty important, if I had to say so myself.
That is on the lowlands. So, lowlands is path to only key 8, so that lines up pretty nicely. It's very possible that that potion inside the lanky bonus barrel is just nothing.
Might just be weapons grade bait. Not here, so that means Chunky is going to be on Cranky.
But on Hillside, there's a there's a Chunky potion in the Diddy cage. Now, every Chunky move we don't have, we do need. So that's pure like purely another potion that we need regardless what happens.
Yeah. We do have coconut, so we can get it.
Our racers are going to meet up again inside Funky's hut. Nice handshake, nice high five.
And we are going to be checking our... Are we dropping some blueprints, or did Connor... Yeah, Connor has not peeked the helmet just yet.
Connor has not peeked that. He's going to be getting that information as well. He knows what he needs to beat the game here.
Connor at 25 bananas.
Based on my count here, we are missing 5 moves and 4 keys that isn't named key 8. Looks like Connor will be heading into the mountain here. Now, Peanuts could be on the path still, so like this is definitely... Connor probably feels like this is worth checking. Definitely one of the longer checks to check, especially if you have a fast seed, but I definitely understand why he's checking this.
Not checking minecart, though. Minecart fans. Sorry, we'll get him another day.
Yeah, and the thing is, minecart could, in theory, be involved as well here, but that is a long check. Yeah, he's not going to be minecart.
Ooh, the old double man. We're going to get more hints here. Foolish to explore Igloo. Castle Rooms is on the path to K. Rool Tiny, so you don't care about that hint at all.
Wow. Here's
another
Mills check.
Okay.
7 Tiny. And main caves is foolish. That is a huge path to wherever Feather is. The funny thing is that they just find oranges, like they can literally ignore everything.
Yeah, exactly.
Granted, they still need sacks, but like they can ignore all the tiny stuff.
You do not need sacks for the tiny phase, so if we do happen to just find oranges, then we can't ignore it. What could it be if it's in Castle Rooms? It can't be the Donkey Library, right?
So Castle Rooms effectively means you do need a slam. And yes, we have not seen Castle yet, so I think it's very possible that Forest Mills just path the Tiny was for Super Simian Slam to get into Castle Rooms. Now, which one it would be, I'm not 100% sure yet. I don't think it's Chunky's because we'd be looking at a Primate Punch and we would be seeing more Chunky phases on top of the tiny stuff as well, so I don't think that's it. Diddy phase, maybe, because Chimpy Charge is Path to Key 7 and tiny. So obviously you need Chimpy Charge to get a bunch of other things there, so maybe that room could also be Sniper Scope, in which case maybe you have to go to Lanky's, you need to get Sniper, you need to get Grape.
Oh man, it could be Sniper Scope.
Chunky, gotten. All they have to do to get the Diesel mode is to go back into Galleon and make the purchase for TinyCon.
We are gonna be. Oh, dude, that Kremlin came in hot. The Lanky. What was with those hitbox interaction? Lanky could not hit that guy.
All right, we're definitely getting Diddies. Connor is going to opt to go back and get some more things behind the wall. Charles is not going to do that.
Yeah, it's an interesting... Oh, actually, just going straight back to the Ramby here. Gonna hit the... Charles actually looks like they're maybe being a little indecisive of what they want to do. Yeah, now they're running for it. Kind of convinced themselves to do it. That happens a lot.
There's a cool strat here is if you hit the Chunky switch, go in and out of this Trophenscoff portal, the Chunky thing will stay open. And the cool thing is Connor is chaining that technique off of handing in bananas into Trophenscoff.
Wow.
Great play there by Connor, and I think Charles is going to end up doing the same thing.
Yep, gonna be doing that. Keeping the Chunky door stuck open. This is kind of fitting Trophenscoff music. I can get behind this.
That's a clear vial. I'm not sure if you get that. Yeah, we're leaving.
Immediately jumping away from it.
That's probably homing ammo.
Easily could be homing ammo. What will Charles do? Will he also just run away from it? What if it's oranges? That's what I'm thinking. But it can't be, right? I don't think, logically.
Yeah, Charles is not going to bother.
Yeah, I think it has to be, like, homing. I think it has to be.
I think there is an issue where that could be Slam 2 or Slam 3. But I feel like that's kind of unlikely. At the very least, if you know you need Slam 3, you know where you can go back to. So, like, it's not...
Yeah.
And, like, that's probably a corner case that likely won't happen, so definitely a good thing for them to just skip.
Yeah, you definitely want to optimize for the non-corner case here, and then, you know, you take the very likely king cutout huge time loss when you know you have to do it, right? And we are going to get a Primate Punch here from the cage.
Primate Punch on the hillside check. I believe hillside was not hinted. Oh, you know what? I forgot there was 2 lowlands hints. One was Path to Key, one was Path to Tiny phase only. So I think that Grape is still in play. With so many repeat hints, I'm getting all confused.
Melon, and what's this guy got? It's a banana metal. Chunky underground looking pretty useless. Still gonna grab it though. For the fans? What are we doing, Connor? Going back?
I think he grabbed it for the fans.
That's for you, Chad.
But he does need these coins.
Yeah.
And there's also 3 more coins right at the entrance of this level for Chunky. So this is what he's probably doing here that he's going to be leaving.
Yep. Yeah, didn't even pick it up. He got real close to it. Patted on the head.
Yeah, we have about 7 more minutes until 45-minute mark, which means it's possible that if for some reason these players decide not to go back to Galleon soon, could be looking at a bad time for the Beavers. Whoever betted on that.
I have bad news. We are going back to Galleon soon.
All right, we are gonna go buy Tiny here, but like thinking of what we need, right? Key 4 is still missing. That's our next logical progression. So where could it be? The problem right now is that there are so many places where Key 4 could be because of that Giga hint, and that's the only hint we got.
Yeah.
For Key 4. So like it's possible like it's on that Giga path somewhere. We really don't know yet. We did get Coconut off that path, so it's possible Prime Punch is hiding it. Connor is checking some Prime Punch checks here, so we're gonna see if it's over here. I think another good place as well to look if you're looking for Prime Punch stuff is the factory lobby. Oh, there's Key 5. Well, that solves one thing, but we need Key 4. All right, what do we got here? Galleon Dirt Lighthouse's Wave the Horde. That was Trombone. We obviously needed that. Various Aztec tunnels is Key 8.
Okay. I've not been there yet.
Galleon Chunky Chest is Wave the Horde. We just got
Key
that.
5. Thanks for that. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Something in the Japes Hillside is Path to Keys 4, 5, and Tiny and Chunky.
All right. Well, there we go. So
yeah, that's 100% punch. So
yeah,
punch is going to be.
That definitely eliminates all those things before punch. So that's a good thing to see. I feel like I would be pushing. You gotta push a Prime Punch checks now. Like I said, you do have a factory lobby. You can do that. And then you can have a bunch of things in factory you can do itself, which I think that's where the next place you're gonna go is. You do have Drunky Chunky, which they could do here, and actually that's where Charles is going right now.
Yep.
Oris does have some Primate Punch checks, but they're like for other things. So I don't think it's likely going to be there.
Nope, not Drunky Chunky. Not doing everything all. This is genuinely the first time I've ever seen someone leave Drunky Chunky the normal way. I feel like I always have people route it to where they leave.
Yeah.
Like by like exiting back to the aisles. I almost never see anyone actually go back the whole long way and take the cannon out.
All right, so thinking of the rest of the seed here, we got that Aztec Mills, or sorry, Aztec Tunnels Path Key 8. That's probably going to be Hunky Chunky. Actually, no, that can't be Hunky Chunky because we would see Chunky in there as well. So that's more than likely going to be for Sax or Triangle.
And we now have family percent on both runners' side. Only missing Triangle and Gorillagon at this point for the Chunkinator. It is interesting how Connor had a very big GB lead there for a second, but it's tied up now, both 37.
Yeah, Connor obviously went out his win for us to get a couple more. He is slightly behind in checks in Galleon, but like it's effectively about even at this point. Going over what we still need here, just taking a look at what we got at the moment. We need key 4, we need keys 6 and 7, and then we also need Triangle, we need Sax, we need Gorillagon, and we need Feather. So that's what we're at the moment.
Ooh, we're going to be checking out the hype chest. Will it be hype today?
Yeah, we'll see if this is hype or not here. I feel like the last couple times it's been on Restream, it hasn't been very hype. So hopefully there's something of value in here. Even if it's 5 gold bananas, that's okay. But like, got here, that's a blueprint.
Basically 2 GBs. Oh, that was a far bite. Nowhere near that clam.
See another GB.
Okay, 3 GBs.
Oh, that was unfortunate. Not that it matters. I think Connor's gonna be following him into there shortly. All right, I think
another blueprint.
Yeah, I think it's 3 GBs and 2 blueprints.
I mean, for sheer density, you take that. I feel like a lot of times you come in here as like 2 banana medals, a piece of pocket lint. It's gonna get something.
And a melon. Can't forget the melon.
And a melon. Sorry. How could I forget? Yeah, they got a full house in the hype chest.
Yeah, this seems like the best play here. Going back into factory will get you a bunch of punch checks that you can do. No key for there, but there is quite a bit in storage and arcade room that you can get as well. 2 additional ones down there. Oh, that was wonderful by Connor there. He snuck out of the clam just in time before the mouth closed. Not that time, though.
Both runners getting bit by that clam in particular. That clam's out for blood.
Oh, that was so close.
And it's Darkroom Key 4. Okay, okay. Everything's checking out. This is, man, we're moving quickly here. Look at us, already at 42 GBs, basically we're basically on parity here with the 1 GB per minute clip.
So, a little bit of a concerning thing right now is we did not get a single Path to Key 6 hit. So I'm wondering where that could be at this point.
Some money, a little unnecessary, but I mean, we'll take it. Melon? Oh man, that was the saddest peanut pop gun put away of all time. He was so excited to shoot that.
Nope.
It's just, oh.
Oh, there's another boss! Horse boss defeated. The good news is we know where Key 6 is now. It's on the medal rewards. I'm a little bit concerned now. Like, what could that be for?
Yeah, our first boss was... what if this boss is also colorless?
We have something here. Simian Spring? That could be on that Gigapath on Factory Medal Rewards because Strong Kong is needed for that. Charles is foregoing caves. There wasn't anything in there of value that we have hinted. He is going to go level 6, which is Aztec now. We know there's a lot of things there.
We also know that main cave is foolish, which kind of lowers the market value a little bit.
All right, Aztec, what do you got?
Various Aztec tunnels is hinted, so I mean, it looks like we're going to keep pursuing the Strong Kong path / coconut gun.
Charles probably saving the vase room for last. That's a very long check in comparison to the rest of them. Not surprised he's not doing it. I think more than likely it's going to be on the Hunky Chunky check, because remember, the very first hint we got was Hunky Chunky's path to Chunky Face in Key 8, and you don't often see Hunky Chunky on the path to other things. So I'm going to guess that it's going to be on the Hunky Chunky barrel in the tunnel.
Also, yeah, Chad is properly sounding the alarm that I think we have to turn around and fight that boss, because that thing has slam. Castle's our last level.
Yup.
Castle is locked up tight. Gonna check the Chimpy charge here.
Yeah, Charles didn't do this check here, but Connor's really thinking hard about that Gigapath where Chimpy charge was needed for everything, so.
Nope. Yeah, Forest Boss defeated. Wait. Yes. Yes.
Now, you also have in here, you have Aztec Metals, and you have Aztec Kasplat Chunky 5-door Temple. So there's many things you can be doing here. Connor is going to opt to do this, but I think I may have sussed that it's not gonna be here. So this could be quite, like, this is razor thin margin here. This could actually be the difference between winning and losing if Connor does this. We'll see what happens.
Oh, and these bees are aggressive.
Oh, these
are violent bees. Like you said, quite a long check. And there's nothing you can really do if the bees decide to start owning you. Like, nothing, just a banana metal. That is a pretty decent chunk of time there taken up by Connor.
Tiny Temple does have something. Oh, and there's a key.
It's a key. It's key 6. Wow. Hello.
No, it's key 7. Oh, we got a lot of key 7 hints. And it was all for that specific slot right there. Now, I just want to keep in mind that Aztec Tiny Temples also path the tiny phase. So that's why Charles is staying here.
Whoa. Vulture kind of put the moves on Charles there. Where's it going?
Now, this wasn't the move that we were looking for. There are 2 more in there somewhere. Or there are 2 more checks in here for the one thing that we need for Tiny Phase, or Tiny K Rule. Oh, look at this! Charles is foregoing. He thinks he's sussed out that you don't need whatever's in here.
Yeah, we'll have to see if Connor decides to poke around a little bit. There's a little bit of route deviation happening here.
There's key 7. There's Charles missing a bunch of shots on a balloon.
It's all right, we got the ammo
Please
for
make
it.
DK's coconut gun training ROM hack, please. Our runners need that.
Can I buy a little coconut gun to put my Wiimote in to play on my Wii? DK's crossbow training.
Well, Connor's like, I do not care. I'm leaving. He is staying in here, so I think he's gonna be getting these other checks.
Yeah, we can't do the chunky triangle, but we can become tiny.
All right, there is something there.
I wonder if Connor's just skipping it because he has it. He's so close with his blueprints to just being at it.
All right, we think this is going to be Gorilla Gone. Wait, no, that can't be true. It can't be Gorilla Gone. It's going to be an instrument, either sax or triangle.
And it's just a banana. Connor getting almost a little bit punished here over exploring. Waiting
Yeah,
for the cop.
that wasn't good for Connor because he took his time to check all this stuff, and now he's not going to be able. He needs to come back here later, while Charles isn't going to need to. There is Saxophone Slam. We got one more hint. 5-door ship is 1 potion for the final one. Probably not going to be useful, but we'll see. Actually, you can peek this check. I think that's what Connor's doing right now.
Looking like he is indeed. Oh!
It's blue! That might
grape?
be... I think that might be grape.
Word?
You need that. Potentially.
That's...
Anyway.
Yeah, that could be mission critical here.
Wait, no, that has to be grape because Japes Lowlands is also path only tiny. You need to come back with triangle.
Pearl! You do know Aztec Metal rewards are important. Pearl?
Connor knows he's gonna have to do this. None of the other tunnel checks have anything.
Charles still electing to buy some bananas here.
I think Charles is really trying to wrap this up quick. I think he feels like he has the information he needs to complete the game.
Yeah. Now Connor, waiting for the cop. The game doesn't expect you to be too fast. Give him a break. It was a cold cave when they made this game. They didn't expect how fast the game would be, and now we're finally approaching 5-door.
So I'm not seeing key 6. I have a suspicion it's going to be on Tiny's metal here.
It's always the last metal you check, huh? No?
It is not Tiny's metal, so DK's metal?
Whose did we get?
No, DK,
we didn't get
okay, it's not DK's. No, the Connor got Chunky's metal.
Right, you're right,
so,
right.
So it's Lanky's metal. Very interesting. Connor's checking this. I wonder what for. He's probably still on that Giga path.
Yeah, he's kidney charged brain.
All right, we have the Gasplat coming up here. What do we got? There's triangle.
It is triangle.
We kind of sussed that out too.
We did. Does Charles immediately whip around back to the temple?
I mean,
only Connor peeked.
I feel like you don't have a choice. You have to. You don't know what's there. Right, Charles sticking around here. We have to get Lanky's medal. It is definitely key 6. There's no other choice. It is the slowest one here, but you have to do it.
Yeah, that's gonna be the case, man. That's all keys. Here we are, key 6.
And now Charles is gonna go straight back into Tiny Temple so we can do the triangle check.
Yeah, wonderfully routed. Charles definitely had a faster Aztec here than Connor.
Now here's the thing. You can get the, you can skip this whole game, but if you don't skip it, you lose like a minute. This is gonna be huge if you miss this. And he gets it.
Got it. Easy. Making it look easy out here.
That is big. I think that puts Charles pretty decently ahead at this point, but there's still some game left to go here. It's not completely over for Connor. We are going to be fit in the later parts of the seed though here, so we'll see what happens.
Charles immediately speedrunning over to the lanky cage in Japes.
Connor knows he has to go get that triangle again.
Yeah, like you said, Charles, very sizable lead at this point.
Welcome to bonus stage.
Connor is grabbing bananas for Q6. Charles saving Funky.
Look at those little funkies go.
Why is Funky so small? What the heck?
He's on his way to Mario Kart Wheel.
Yeah, I'm not convinced the seed is solved yet, but Charles is moderately ahead at this point. Okay, well, there's Super Duper. Don't need to worry about that.
This is making sense for the castle rooms.
Going back into Forest.
Yeah, gotta compete the boss, right?
Oh, Connor's going... Where's he going?
Staring into the abyss.
What are you thinking about, Connor?
Connor,
You know what you need to do?
tell us your fears, Connor.
He is going into Forest. It looks like both players are gonna be checking out the Forest boss.
Yeah, because if that's Super Duper, then odds are this is a colored potion. This is not colorless, almost certainly.
I think both players are confused on what drop and scoff to go to.
Yeah. Yeah, if homing is indeed on Jape's boss, which is increasingly looking like, then they both successfully kind of like avoided the bait.
Wait, what is that? Is that purple or is that blue?
I think it looks blue to me, doesn't it?
It's blue. Oh my god, it's blue. This is
blue
gonna
for
be
Lanky Tower.
This is Baboon Balloon for Lanky Tower. And we have to fight. Oh my goodness, we have to fight this boss.
Well, that helps wrap some things up. That is very indicative of what we have to do here.
Yeah, so we have two things to get. Two things left. We have so Castle Shops is Pathkey and Chunky. That is going to be Gorilla Gone. And then we have Feather, which is going to be Linked. That's what we have left. At this point, Charles is pretty squarely ahead by at least a minute, 2 minutes. It's possible there's like a curveball at the end, maybe? Like maybe we find like Rocket Barrel or something in Diddy Tower that sends him on another like path or something, but I feel like the chances of that are pretty low at this point. It is Randomizer, you don't know yet.
You don't know, but you know, you do know, Connor never got great.
I know, I feel like Connor is just gonna go straight to Japes after this. I hope he goes straight to Japes.
We need Grape for Super Duper Simian Slam in order to get into Castle Rooms, in order to get in the Lanky Tower. You know, I have a confession. I've never avoided the big moments where you like jump into it every time.
Yeah, the music is... The sound effects in here are so loud I could not even hear you.
It's a really loud fight. Nice. Optimal throw. Quick boss from Charles.
All right, we suspect this is Balloon, and it is.
100%. Now we casually blast off the castle at the speed of sound. So, yeah, a little bit of a blueprint dump, and Charles will absolutely be at the required number of bananas.
$29 level 7, LOL, dude.
That's so low. Oh my god.
Oh, this is unfortunate. Connor is not going the correct way, so this probably is going to be a win for Charles, assuming things are in the correct spot.
Unfortunately, we don't have rocket barrels, so we do need to schlep all the way up the castle.
You ready for a nice, relaxing climb up the castle, chat?
How do you feel about this skybox color, chat? Do you like this one? Nice
all right, green. Connor never got grape.
Yeah, that's what I said earlier, but the fight was exploding.
I was too distracted by the fight. I didn't realize he had grape. I was like, why is he going to Japes? Well, he doesn't have grape yet. All right, Connor does get the skip as well. Still in it, hanging by a thread, but he's still in it.
Yeah, but like you said earlier, at this level, these kind of races can be down to just a handful of minutes, right? Like I had said, Charles got knocked into losers only by less than a minute. So to have this far of a lead is pretty disastrous, you know, barring something truly traumatic happening over to Charles.
Yeah, like I said, there's still gonna be like, this could not be Feather, right? This could be just something else. And like, obviously that would push him to a different spot, but like the chances of that happening are low. Like we still have bongos in play, we still have rocket barrel in play. Those lock a decent amount of checks, so. There's still trauma that can happen.
There is. Gotta protect the chunky bases here. We love the chunky bases. Here we are in the Lanky Tower. Wow, that was a great double shot from Charles. Did you see that? I don't think he meant to, but he hit the balloon and the switch at the same time.
I mean, it is a great shot, but you don't need that balloon, so it was effectively a waste of time for a little bit.
This is very funny. Put that in the montage. Going on up.
Welcome to bonus stage.
Once again, here is our 29 gold banana B-Locker at level 7. Charles completes the bonus barrel as Connor enters here. What do we got? It is purple. So that is likely going to be Feather, but it could be Ponytail Twirl. There is still a chance there could be a disaster here.
If it's Ponytail Twirl, I will laugh out loud.
Okay, it's Feather. And assuming Gorilla Gone is in Castle Funky DK. That is go mode. So you're very close to the end. If it's not, we still got some seed left. Oh my god, he got knocked off!
Had some good hits in this seed. It's so funny because they've kept up such a great pace, but a couple of the enemies have fought back.
All right, there's the Donk's potion. What do we got?
Is this the Gorilla Gone?
It's
that gorilla is missing. I've never seen that gorilla a day in my life. That means Charles is zooming.
That is go mode, ladies and gentlemen. Charles now has a commanding lead, so unless he messes up greatly at the end here, it is his race to lose.
I don't know. Tiny K rule phase can be pretty tricky.
There is the tiny 2% game, yes. That one requires ponytail twirl for those who don't know. That could be a disaster class. I'm looking at my hints, so I'm trying to see if there's anything else we can do to follow that. Don't think we have much as far as Key 8 goes, though. Quick little blueprint dump.
I wonder if you were to, like, you know, sit down and actually try to speed run, like, optimally route this seed with all information, if you could have just gotten oranges earlier, you know what I mean?
It's possible, but, like, we don't know where it is. Like, that other boss had to be homing ammo. I don't think there's any other thing it could be.
Barring a 10-minute mistake. Yeah, Charles would have to have a great deal of difficulty getting into Helm here. That lava's pretty hot. It can be pretty scary.
Yeah, we're gonna see in a couple minutes here just how far behind Connor is entering Helm. So, on the timer... looks like this is gonna be a 1:10:25.
Pretty darn fast, Kudos.
Here's Featherbow.
I think there was a cop in there. There was.
Use that to have a quick... You can use that for some quick routing in Helm, so we'll see if that happens. That was a beautiful fall by Connor, actually. That was much clearer than Charles from earlier.
Probably take cover. What, was that a punch for swag? No, I think he tried to roll over the switch. There is the Gorilla Gone on the side of Connor.
Welcome to bonus stage.
And it's just a big bug bash.
Yeah, it's Chad's talking about gambling for oranges somewhere, but I really don't think that was necessary to see. Like, everything got hinted. Even the things we didn't need.
I just wonder as a, you know, as a thought exercise.
Maybe someone will be kind and find for us later, but...
Wow, that cop is asleep at the wheel. He's looking right at him. All right, I think we're out of 2% territory. So much these are truly the worst bonus games of all time.
Hey, but we get to say funky again. The baby part things. You know, Bones, someone thought to themselves, I should make Baby Park be in DK64 and did it.
And isn't that beautiful?
That's the power of Donk Random, man. People will do anything.
Welcome to bonus stage.
Looks like there's gonna be about a 2-minute 50-second difference between Connor and Charles upon entering the home. So yeah, the margins for the top runners are so razor fit thin, especially in a seed like this where everything's hinted.
Yeah, to the point that a nearly 3-minute lead is really difficult to overcome.
And good news, we get to listen to Baby Park again.
Thank goodness. You know, I've seen 16-man Mario Kart on Baby Park. If you ever wanted to really gaze into the abyss, it is that. It is just... Imagine if you could in your mind's eye, nothing but Bowser shells banking off walls back and forth for the entirety of the race.
I also love how Nintendo's like, Baby Park. Everyone loved that stage. Let's bring it back from Mario Kart 8.
I don't think Connor meant to get caught there, did he? Looks very upset.
You can reset the helm area, like, and it won't, like, undo the room you did, so getting caught there was definitely... Oh, wait, no, he didn't
No.
beat it. So,
That's
like,
what I'm saying. It was an
beat it.
accident. He got caught on the way to the other bonus barrel.
Yeah.
Oh, man. Brutal. And we're off to K. Rool. I like that tiny color. Yeah, I agree with it.
All right, every racer's favorite part of K. Rool, tiny face, sitting in the toes and praying to God that their opponent doesn't finish.
Yeah, I think Connor might have just forgotten that the cop was there. Just didn't expect. Yeah, at this point, we have to be assuming that it is looking like a Charles victory. Very, very well played. It really came down to Aztec, it feels like. Yeah, exactly. They were like pretty much neck and neck going into Aztec, and then there was just a couple little routing decisions that they both made. Connor wasted time doing the tiny fight underwater. Charles, like, really just had a hard read on what he thought he had to do, and they were correct. Very, very well played.
Yeah, one of the cool parts about racing DK64 Randomizer is like trying to make sure you're doing the optimal things on the fly, and Connor just did one too many slow checks in Aztec, and that really was the difference here. Especially at the top level, even if you do like a couple extra checks, that could just do it.
Yeah. Mine was a little bit too on the chimpy charge.
Meanwhile, Chad is rioting because neither found or got the bean, so is there really a winner here?
That's going to be a tiny phase for Charles. So again, everybody, this is losers semis in the bracket. So the winner of this will move on to fight the loser of winners final, which didn't happen yet.
Yeah. Of course, we got our 3 longest faces for K. Rool here.
Yes, obviously. Can't catch a break. good lanky trombone. I appreciate that. It is funny, too, to us to talk about how, like, wow, yeah, huge lead here for Charles. Meanwhile, like, they're both in the boss. Like, they're both doing the last thing. That is going to be the lanky phase. Charles moving on to the final phase. It is the canonical last phase. Good old Chunky Kong.
Oh, Charles could backflip like and get hit by the punch like 6 times here. You never know.
Yeah, we've all been there. We've all backflipped.
At least one of these racers have been there.
We'll have to see if Charles backflip. I think outside of the extraneous balloon shot, Charles has not been much of a swag player.
No.
They're all business. Punch number 2. Only one more, 2 DOS. And this loser semis is wrapped up.
Not going to quite cut the 120 here, but very good seed, and I probably could have been a lot quicker if it wasn't for that one feather location.
Yeah. Wow, and here we go.
And
Charles.
there it is.
120.09.04. You know what's crazy? The match right before this that Charles also won, they also got a 120.
That consistency.
Meanwhile, Connor just starting the lanky phase again, really not that far behind in the grand scheme of things, but when you have 2 players that are this good, man, it's close.
All right, joining us here is Connor and Charles. GG's, y'all.
All right, GG's.
GG's. That was fun.
It was very close. Like the routing decisions at this level, like if you make like if you do one longer check, like that's it. Like, Connor, do you feel like you made like a poor routing decision somewhere, like thinking back at your route, or?
I think I was over clearing areas for sure and not realizing how many golden bananas I had. Like doing treasure room was a complete mistake because there were all these paths that were like, oh yeah, diving could lead to something else. I know it's probably for Tiny Temple, but there could be something else behind diving. There could be something else behind Chimpy Charge, but like doing treasure room and then the way I routed Aztec, yeah, it's like I was doing checks that maybe weren't necessarily required if you realize that the seed is completely solved by the hints, which was tricky to do at that point.
And I'm really glad neither of you did Jape's boss, because that would have been very sad.
Yeah, I mean, I thought it could be slam or homing, but either way, I was gonna save it for later in case I found homing elsewhere.
Right. I mean,
Yeah,
like
it was in the back of my mind. It could have been the slam. But
yeah, it was definitely one of those things where you could have easily gone back, like, oh, it's slam. If I need it later, I only need it for one thing anyway. And then if it's homing, well, I can just leave it because I think you both got what was on homing ammo anyway, so no issues there.
If it was oranges, though, could have saved
oranges.
quite a bit of time.
We were talking about that on commentary. It's like if one of you happened to randomly find oranges, that would have been huge. That would have been a lot of the seed you got to skip.
It looks like, though, Charles did, in fact, find oranges when he was looking around in the seed afterwards. Why don't you share where you found some things, Charles?
So I looked up the scouring hints. We had 2. First, I looked up the founder ship and found O-stand, and then I found Jape's forest lobbies. 1 pot. Then I went to forest lobby, did the feather check, ferry, and it was oranges.
Oh my god.
So
by feather.
So we were talking about, like, there might have been a world where, like, if, like, this was a big race, right, that someone just randomly stumbles into oranges and they just giga win because of that. Well, clearly it wasn't happening this seed.
No.
Yeah, like you saw me check Aztec lobby. I was like, because I knew the Jape's Forest 1 potion. I was doing every check in Jape's Forest lobbies and never found it.
Yeah, and we definitely, like, okay, well, Connor wants to see what that scouring potion is, plus you still have Chimpy Charge, which was on a Giga Path at that point, so, like, definitely don't blame you for that.
Yeah, really, we were talking about it on commentary, but going into Aztec, you two were basically dead tied, and it just kind of came down to exactly what you were checking there and, like, where you were going for density. And then at the end of that, I mean, there was just a little bit of a lead for Charles, which, you know, you two are pretty decent gamers at this game. You're at the top of it, so just like a minute lead can get so out of control, it feels like.
Yeah, and, like, looking at back, Connor did Vase's tiny claptrap room and the Diddy Tower, and so that was basically the 3 minutes right there.
Yeah, and the fact that I left Aztec without Grape, which was, you know, instantly after I did that, it hit me. Oh yeah, Slam is in Jape's Lowlands. Grape is not skippable. You need to go back for that. Like, as soon as I left, I realized.
Yeah, that sucks, because, like, in this kind of, like, high level one-on-one, like, you know that could be, like, a killer by itself. Alright, is there anything else funky about the seed? I don't think there was. There was no caves, which is really nice. Neither of you went in there. I would really hope so, because there was nothing hinted there.
Just got spring in the lobby.
Yep. Both got spring, but did not enter caves. I was getting worried about key 4 because for the longest time our only hint was, okay, it's Chimpy Charge or Coconut locked or Strong Kong locked, and then finally we get the Jape's Hillside hint that confirms Punch locks key 4, which narrows it down, but that, like, I got that hint at the perfect time. I don't know where Charles got it. It was like right when I was ready to start panicking, where's key 4? I got it on my next hint pack.
Yeah, pretty much the same. Yeah, I was pretty confused in the beginning in the whole path with Tiny and Mills and everything. So, but yeah, that came in clutch, the punch hint.
Yeah, because that whole time, like, you're sort of hoping, oh, Feather might be skippable, or some of these moves might be skippable, and that's sort of what I was playing around, is that it'll work itself out. But nope, you need 2 slams, Balloon, and Grape to get this strictly required Feather.
How about that Mills, by the way? Just potion after potion after colorless potion.
Yeah, it was pretty easy.
Yeah, what was that? That was Sniper, Super Simeon Slam, Diving, and Peanut. You needed all 4 of them.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was confusing to try and figure out which was which path hint, but, like, I got there eventually and solved it. But at the time, it was super, like, not clear.
It was not clear for me in the beginning. I was just cruising along, gathering more GBs and getting more hints. Then it became pretty clear it was like a tower to me, at least.
All right. I think that is it then. Thanks for the race, guys. Charles will be moving on. Connor's out, and he takes 4th place in this tournament. Tomorrow, we will be doing the final, or I guess the next match of, or sorry, the next game of, what was it? Kilvaris versus Camerson. That is on Twitch, of course, here. If you're watching on YouTube, it probably already happened, so just watch the VOD. So, that being said, we will go ahead and cut here. Morning, and thanks for watching.
Morning, everybody.
Morning. It actually is morning for Charles. That's funny.
Or in the morning.
Oh my god.
That explains everything. It's the morning buff.
Yeah.